Okay, on to video 3 here with decimation. So we started with 6 million tries. I do decimation in multiple passes because this is a lot of decimation to get down to something reasonable. So I'm just going to do a 0.1 to start with. If nothing happens and you notice I can't do anything, that's normal. That's a lot of math that Blender's doing to try to figure out how to get 6 million down to, if it's 0.1, and take it down to 600,000 something. So this could take a minute or two. And then it's even going to take longer when I actually apply this, because we don't want to keep this hanging around. So I'm going to pause the video, but just know that this could be just a minute or two, and go grab yourself a cup of coffee while it's thinking. Okay, so we're back. You notice I had clicked, or this is all applied. I had clicked the arrow and hit apply. Also, you could have done it through object convert mesh, and that would also apply the modifiers. So we're down to 600,000. That's something we can work with. I got to get it down further, but that was a good first pass. Something that's helpful is getting rid of a lot of tries off the things you don't see, which is the bottom of this and the back of this. If you do that, you could do booleans and do boolean cuts and actually just get rid of the backings of this. I had it in my head that it might apply or affect physics if there was just pieces missing in the mesh, so I had decimated the back side of it rather than just deleting it. The way I do that is if I go into edit mode, go into line, the edge mode here, and I click once, and then I'm going to control click, and I'm basically going to create an outline onto, and it doesn't have to be exact. I'm not getting everything here. I understand that. This is just about making it better, not perfect. Get some of the bottom. Doesn't have to be the whole thing if we don't want to. And then the important thing is it just has to meet back up to where we started, which looks like about there. Okay, so now if I go to select loops, and then select the inner region, that's just going to highlight all of this here. I could delete it, that's fine. The option that I went with is I go to this data tab, I'm going to click plus to just create a vertex group out of it and assign. So that means, if I go back to object mode, I can reference that when I go to modifiers. I can reference that vertex group and decimate just that. So let me start with 0.6. Okay, that's actually pretty solid. I mean, you can see it got rid of almost all the geometry. At some point, if you go too much, 0.5, you're going to see it's going to collapse itself, and it's not going to look right. So 0.6 ended up being a good guess. Got rid of most of the geometry. You see it took it down from 600,000 to 400,000. Did a nice job with that. Didn't affect the front, though. So visually, I didn't see any change. I just knocked off a bunch of tries. Now I can take my final pass at decimation to get this ready to bring into Unity. I'm just going to do a 0.15. It's something I know worked for my other ones. You could pick your own. So you see, whenever you decimate, you lose a little quality, but because my material shader in Unity does such a good job, this actually works out pretty well and still makes this look really good in the Unity side. So I kind of found this was a nice balance. I'm down to 60,000 tries. Not a big deal for what we're doing for our project. So I think we're in pretty good shape at this point. We could either keep it as is, or I would probably just convert it to a mesh if we knew it was already good, to apply all those modifiers. And then I could go ahead and export this as an FBX. I'm just going to say just the selected object. I don't want my whole course file coming with it. I'm always used to doing things in, I put the scaling to unit scales, and I always apply transform. No idea, to be honest, if that's even needed. I'm in such a habit of doing it that I just always do it. And I will call this test cliff, and then export it. And that kind of leads us into the fourth video, which is going to be bringing this into Unity and actually applying a shader to it.